people fall into this trap. They feel like they have to create a need for people. The agent has to create a need, and a need cannot be created. Need can only be discovered and uncovered. And you got to gently go in and uncover that need. Where this no need piece comes in, you may lose the sale because there's no need, but it's not because there's not a real need there. It's because you didn't do your job to uncover the need and reveal it and have the client actually address the thing that's really important to them.
Welcome back to another episode of the Life Insurance Academy podcast. Families are depending on you, and the only thing that's separating them from financial devastation is your ability to help them make a decision. That's it. That's it.
Deep, Chris.
That's heavy stuff, man.
That's heavy. You opened with that. Who wrote that?
Hey, what's up, guys? No.
That's heavy.
Well, it's important.
Yes.
I think it's an important conversation, and This I believe today's topic is a foundational conversation. I think most agents don't know the real reason why people are hesitating, not moving forward, having the real conversation to change things for their family.
Yeah, they think it's price. They think it's product. Agents oftentimes think it's timing. The I want to think about it gets you all the time. We're going to submit to you today and break down what we believe is one of 5 core barriers. And we believe that really summarizes, condenses. What's that word when it's something simmers down all the way to like this?
It sounds delicious.
Yeah. And it just reduces down. Yeah, reducing.
Great
right?
word.
You put in some red wine into your seafood linguine or your white wine or whatever, and then you reduce it. It reduces to one of 5 core barriers. And once you can identify them, you can remove them. Today, we're going to talk about all 5 of them. So every objection agent hears, let me think about it. I want to talk to my kids. The budget's tight. We're not ready comes from one of these 5 barriers. So once you understand these, you'll close more sales. You'll lose fewer opportunities, and you'll walk into every appointment with some confidence and clarity. And I know if you've listened to any of our podcasts recently, we've been talking about confidence and clarity and these 5 real reasons why people don't buy. And that's what this episode will be called. I think we'll give you some confidence and clarity in your next appointment.
Yeah.
So what say you, Chris Ball, about that?
Yes. The thing I like about an episode like this is it gives you a framework to walk out after your presentation and ask yourself, did I address these 5 issues? What does that look like? Did I do a good job of that? And you can grade yourself and improve just by listening to this episode and implementing these pieces.
Yeah. So the first one, let's just jump right in.
Yeah.
We're going to go right off the top, and I think we're going to put some stuff up here that you can follow along with on these big ideas. First one is no trust. If you Google one of the things that you need to have happen to be effective in sales, and you Google it, you're going to find that you have to get people to know, like, and trust you. Know, like, and trust. You've heard it before. If you've dabbled in sales, if you're an experienced pro or you're new to it, know, like, and trust is a big piece of that. Trust is where a lot of this falls apart. And people buy from people they trust. But before clients trust the plan, the company, the price, they have to trust you. They have to trust you. But no trust doesn't sound like I don't trust you. They never say that.
Right.
What they will say, Chris, is, if you can give me some pricing and I'll think about it, and if you can give me your contact info, I'll get back to you. We'd like to talk this over. Or can you leave me your card? And if you're in a face-to-face meeting and people are still asking for a business card, you're going to get that sometimes.
Or if you're in telesales and they ask for a card, they don't trust you at all. That's bad news.
They don't.
Yeah.
They don't. And sometimes you're going to say, I don't make quick decisions. Yeah. I don't make quick decisions, or we got to talk it over. So when you're in this frame and people are saying these things to you, you need to know that it's almost always based on a trust. And sometimes they just don't trust you. Sometimes they don't trust themselves to make a good decision. Sometimes they don't trust that this is the right plan and they need someone else to validate it for them.
Yeah.
They just don't have trust in you, the process, clarity for themselves. So how do we handle this, man?
Yeah. In our teaching, we talk about it in two terms of authority and empathy. You said, like and trust.
Like and trust. Yeah.
Obviously, they don't know you because you're reaching out to them usually on the phone or knocking on a door based on how the request came in. So there's a request.
Yeah.
They don't know how they're going to receive the information that they requested. So the knowing part, that has to be compressed inside of the sales process. So what do you have to bank on? You have to bank on the, like you said, like and trust. Trust would be authority and empathy pieces. And that like can slide under empathy where you become a human that people can connect to.
I would say, Chris, too, like the likeness piece, sometimes people forget this. When in telesales, they want to get to their script right away and start asking questions. And I've always said that the best advisors are people who can have a great conversation and connect with people really quickly.
Yes.
We were having a conversation with an agent that's only been in the business for less than 90 days. And she was telling us this morning, we were just having coffee together. She was saying, I realized that I'd been sitting behind a desk working a corporate job for 8 years, not really having real conversations with people. And now I'm sitting on the phone talking with people between the ages of 55 and 80 about how they want to end and what they want to do for their families. And I realized that I need to get really good at having good conversations that are meaningful with people. And she goes, that's going to take some work on my part. I just can't assume they're going to trust me or like me. I got to practice this at getting people to trust me and like me. And I'm like, yes.
There you go.
Yes. Yes, the light's coming on. And that's a two-way street. It's not just you asking questions and understanding them. Like you have to give something up.
Yeah.
Think about it. It'd be weird if you're in just a casual conversation and you never learned anything about the other person that you're having a conversation with for an hour.
Yeah.
You walk away going, I don't know anything about them, and I just shared my whole life story. You might feel connected, but you lack trust in some ways. So you got to be a real human and have that real human conversation.
I've heard agents address, something they hear in the background. Is that your dog barking back there? What kind of dog you got? Are you a dog person? And instantly, brief moment of connection. Yeah. It's enough to start the conversation.
I can hear that Showcase Showdown's getting ready to go off. How long have you been watching The Price is Right?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Right?
Quick moments of connection. You don't have to stay in the friend zone or anything like that. And honestly, it's the other part that helps build the right to be heard. It allows you to earn the right to be heard is your professionalism, your credibility, your knowledge of the process and the products. We like my perspective on trust. It's established and it's nurtured, maintained throughout the process. And if you don't know those things, you haven't taken the time to learn those things, and you don't sound sure or confident. Click.
That's right.
Next.
That's right.
Yeah.
And we've got some courses done on this.
Yeah.
Actually, we've got a course coming up inside of the Life Insurance Academy on our courses section that talks about this piece, about how to establish and build trust. It's inside of the face-to-face presentation course, and it's also in our telesales course, launching for success in telesales. We talk about it in both cases, if you're face-to-face or over the phone, and you do it differently, I think, in each one, but it has to be a priority of you building trust, acknowledging who they are as a human, being a human yourself, being relatable. Trust is a part of trust is just being likable.
Yeah. That's hard for some people.
Yeah.
That's hard for me.
Not with that attitude.
Yes.
Yeah. What's your line? Not with that attitude.
Not with that attitude.
Yeah. So trust is a foundation for the entire conversation. That's the first one. All right. What's the second big issue here that becomes a real issue. We equate it to something else, but it's really this underlying issue.
They don't really need it.
They don't really need it.
Yeah.
What is that about?
Right. And the communication of that may be, we're good. We're good. What does that mean, right?
I know.
We already have something. I'm really not worried about that. And it depends. These conversations we have with agents, I talk about need based on a spectrum. When people respond to an ad or something, it could be, I need to check into this, or I have to take care of this. I've been putting it off. We want everybody at the type of need level.
Can you do that again?
We want them at that need level, right? The issue with that need level is most of the time they're at that need level because they had a huge wake-up call, which means they probably had an illness or somebody passed recently. The other ones are where, it could be my daughter takes care of me and helps me out, but I don't have words for that yet.
Yeah.
I don't have clarity on that. I just have an instinct. I need to check into that.
Are you ready to launch your insurance career? Excel Solutions is your go-to leader in life, accident, and health insurance pre-license training. Their cutting-edge e-learning platform is packed with rich content. Think interactive assessments, engaging videos, and customized learning paths, all tailored to your learning style. Being students ourselves, we've trusted Excel now for years to deliver top-notch training, offering high pass rates. Their streamlined prep review courses and the exam simulator are really your secret weapons to nailing the state exam the very first time. Now, you thought it couldn't get any better. Well, it just did. Life Insurance Academy listeners, you receive an epic 50% discount, reducing the regular course fee from $199 to only $99. So, all you have to do is use partner code LIA at liapodcast.org/Excel. Now, Excel spells XCEL. So don't think about it any longer. Dive headfirst into your insurance career with Excel Solutions premier pre-license training with that exclusive 50% discount just for you. Get the code, get licensed, and excel in your insurance career. I want to ask a question. As agents getting started in the business, oftentimes when we're knocking on this door and we can't really find anything, like we're good, I think I'm good, I think I got something, or I'm not really worried about that, or I'm not too concerned about it, and you're getting this kind of like apathy. We said that the second real reason why people don't buy is they don't have a need. My question to you, Chris, is that true, that they really don't have a need, or they don't understand their need, and we have not done the work to help them discover what that need is?
Okay, well, I think that's a good clarifying question. Whoa. Yes. I think that's a good clarifying question because we say these are guiding principles of, things we can evaluate. The question is, did we address need correctly? That's the question. And if we did address need correctly, we found from their perspective that they do not need this. They do not need it. Now, did we investigate that?
From their perspective.
From their perspective, correct. Yes. And when we talk about stakes or pain points or those types of things, all we're trying to do is discover what it is that they responded to or caused them to respond. I mean, what made them reach out? What questions like, who are you trying to protect? What got you thinking about this? What happens if nothing's in place today? Those pieces. Sometimes the need is discovered in a conversation about a relationship or something. I remember, I've shared the story, but I remember being in Louisiana and we're sitting in a house. The lady had coverage already, and the need that was discovered is that the home was a special place where the entire family was congregating. And from that conversation and our ability to uncover need, we wrote $7,000 in that house because of that conversation. A lot of agents wouldn't. They would have said, okay, yeah, you got it. You're good. Sometimes, Roger, this will blow you away. Sometimes people are just lying. They're lying.
Yeah, it's a screen.
It's a smoke screen. Smoke screen. It's like Mario Kart. Banana peels are flying out on the road. Everything. You're in a spin out.
I know exactly what that feels like. We'll be playing Mario Kart again over the holidays.
Yes.
And I will get spun out. Someone throws a banana peel at me.
I had a client, an agent tell me that he went through all his leads and nobody needed anything. And I said, well, let's go back and see one of them. I was like, we'll just go see the people you saw already. Went back.
What?
Yes, it was crazy. Went back.
We're going to redo the work?
Yep. Went back. First one. Sat, talked to the lady. She said, you're back here? Sat down on the porch. She talked about her coverage she had. We found out she hadn't made a payment in 4 months. But it's there. I got it. I don't need it.
I know.
So we wrote the application.
No discovery.
Yeah.
So here's a cool thing that you need to be mindful of. I wouldn't say it's a cool thing. This is something you need to be mindful of because a lot of people fall into this trap. They feel like they have to create a need for people.
That's very, very good.
That the agent has to create a need. And a need cannot be created. Need can only be discovered and uncovered and excavated.
Yes.
Excavated.
Yes. You got your brushes, your little shovels.
Yeah. Because there's something under there that's sensitive, and you got to gently go in and uncover that need. I think where this no need piece comes in, you may lose the sale because there's no need, but it's not because there's not a real need there. It's because you didn't do your job to uncover the need and reveal it and have the client actually address the thing that's really important to them. And we haven't asked the right questions. And so we've not gone there to have the client say it in their own words. And when the client puts it in their own words, it becomes real.
Yes.
And then I love your thing, a need once verbalized by the client, that becomes what?
A want.
A want.
That's
so
right.
that leads us into the next one for us here. Sometimes your clients don't think they want it, or they feel no sense of, like I maybe something I need. I just don't want it. Where does need transfer to want, and how does that play into this? And do people really not buy because they don't want it, or again, is that something that we're not doing?
That is a fact that people will buy because they don't want, and sometimes they don't want because they feel cornered or trapped because of how you framed it or you told them they need it. That's a weird thing. That's where asking good questions and giving them the opportunity. I would say that the magic one that unlocks a lot of this conversation is, what would it look like? That's a big one because it allows it to come from their mouths, their words. What would it look like if you don't have anything in place? God forbid tomorrow Betty's in the funeral home and they're asking for the songs that you want sung for your service, the dress you wanted to wear, the can't think of the word, the coffin that you would have wanted, all these things. And then they're going to say, how would you like to pay for this to make sure your mother is honored correctly? And there's nothing in place. How would she handle that? I don't know. What does that look like? I don't know. And I don't know is the beginning of a conversation we can work with.
Yeah, you can't stop there. Because when they get to the I don't know, and you're willing to go beyond that, well, if you did know, what do you think they would do?
Yeah.
And you're not letting them out from that.
Right.
It's not like you're forcing something on them, but for the first time, someone's having a real conversation. And as soon as they begin speaking about what they would want it to look like, they're now verbalizing their need.
Yes.
And that need, once it's verbalized by the client, now becomes something that they want.
Yeah.
Because it becomes real for the first time.
The follow-up question of how does that make you feel? That's where it shifts, where now they're looking for a solution, or they realize that there needs to be a solution beyond what they have. And there's more conversations, but these are the facts. I think we know this about ourselves. It's human nature. You know this. If you're honest with yourself, you know this. You buy what you want. You buy. That's why you have credit card bills. You have a tendency to buy what you want. If you're an
To
agent,
buy more than what we can afford
yeah,
because
yeah,
it's something we want.
correct. And you'll let the need pieces be pushed to the side, and they tend to pile up until there's an issue. That's, if we're working.
You mean I was supposed to change the oil in my car? Is that why the
Yeah.
engine blew?
Yes.
Yes. That light's been on for 3 months.
That's the thing.
And your
That's the
engine
thing.
blew. Now you need an engine.
Yes.
Whatever
Yeah.
it is.
Mhm.
So these are things that as we are in conversations with clients, you have to go there and ask them about what's really important.
Yeah.
And those 4 stakes questions, you'll find them in our training. Chris, I'd like to hit them again real quick. Is what does it look like for them if you don't have anything in place?
Yeah.
How does that make you feel? Number 2, what would you want it to look like? Or if you could do something about it, what would you like it to look like for them? What would you like to have in place? And lastly, why is that important to you?
Mhm.
Those 4 stakes questions, man.
Great starting point.
Yes, and it moves you from need to want. And it's in the form of a conversation.
Roger, and I'll share this. I'm sure you've had these conversations. I'm reminded of sitting in a home having these conversations, and a lady, her daughter's sitting in the next room. We got through all of this, and she told me she wanted it, and then we had an affordability conversation, and she initially was talking about didn't want to move forward, and we talked about her budget and what she was spending. It was 2 packs a day smoker. Like
She was a 2-pack a day smoker.
2-pack a day smoker.
Oh,
And
wow.
we did the math on that.
Yeah.
And she had on the table a Maxwell House can of ashes.
Cigarette butts.
Cigarette butts. And I asked her if she's willing to make sacrifices to make sure her daughter was taken care of, or if she was interested in leaving this monument to her. I pushed it.
Cigarette
Yeah, I
butts, and you
pushed
moved
to
it
her.
over.
I pushed it to her, and we sat there quietly and didn't say anything. And she asked to fill out an application. Like, that's very uncomfortable. And
Most people, Chris, would never have done that because they're afraid. Like, that's well, first of all, it's hard to do over the phone.
yeah, you can't push.
Right. Is that a cigarette can that I see that I hear you clicking into? What is that?
I from my perspective,
Like that's a bold move.
I was very quiet with it, and I was fighting for her, like
You're fighting for the daughter.
the daughter that was in the other room.
Yeah.
She's there helping mom out. Like I could see what was going on,
Yeah.
and I wanted to make sure she was taken care of. So that I was an advocate. That was my position. In
And
that.
when cigarettes
right or wrong, that's what I did. And
when they're $6-7 a pack.
yeah, can we make some
one additional
adjustments?
pack a day? She could have just cut down 1 pack a day and covered the need.
Yeah, yeah. So
I mean, $6 a day times 30 days, $180. Can you invest in a policy for your family for less than that?
Right.
Almost always.
absolutely
Right? Almost always.
Almost
That's
always.
a great policy for
Yeah.
most people.
correct.
Yeah. So, all right. So we've got no trust, no need, no want. There's only 2 more.
No, at the same time,
Urgency.
urgency. No.
At the same time. That was the weirdest thing ever. Even if the client trusts you and they like, man, I like this person, and they see a need. And Chris, our language that we wrote down here, and wants the solution, they still won't act without urgency. But I believe if you elevate
Yeah,
the need,
yeah.
because we talk about identifying, addressing, and raising the stakes.
Correct.
Right? It's in our principled sales process. Addressing, identifying, and raising the stakes. It's not enough just to identify and address. We have to raise them. And raising them creates that sense of urgency.
Right.
Right? And so this goes back to the concept is, they couldn't afford it. Well, they couldn't afford it was a value issue. It wasn't a price issue. It was a value issue.
Right.
Because where there's no value or little value, there's no price
Correct.
low enough.
Yeah.
When there's high value, people will go out of their way to figure out how to solve the problem.
Right.
Right? They'll beg, borrow, and steal money to solve it if it's a big enough issue. And so that move with the can of cigarette butts, powerful move. She realized I'm spending $150 a month on cigarettes, $300 actually, because she was smoking 2 packs a day. can I direct half of that into a plan for my daughter? Do I love her more than I love the cigarettes? Now there's a value conversation going on in the mind of your client.
Yeah.
And you said I sat there quietly. And
Well,
man,
I wanted to feel that.
that tension was growing inside of your calm.
Yeah.
You were being calm and
Yes.
tension was rising. And that place of tension brought your client to a place of acknowledging need, acknowledging not just a need, but creating that desire to do something about it, which elevates the urgency.
Correct.
So even though I say urgency here is number 4, we say urgency is number 4. I believe that if you uncover, address, and raise the stakes, you get to urgency.
Yeah. Yeah. That the want is the bridge from need to urgency, right?
Correct.
That's kind of how I see it, right? It's the temperature dial from need to urgency. And I do think it presents confusing, like, we'll wait, we'll keep checking around. I need a month to clarify certain things. And I think it's okay to ask questions like, when I have these conversations and I feel hesitation, usually it's a result of the price being uncomfortable, or there's questions about the product. Which one is it? Or maybe there's something you're uncomfortable with. Which one of those is that?
Yeah,
and then
I like to talk about like identifying and isolating and then eliminating.
Yeah.
Because you're saying, a lot of Mr. Ball, I totally understand your hesitation. A lot of other clients have said exact same things and they felt the exact same way. Usually when they express that they want to think about it, it's usually just for one of a couple of reasons. Either number one, there's something about the program they don't understand.
Yes.
The product. Is there anything about what we explain about how this program works, how it's going to protect your family that you need me to spend a little more time on so you can understand it better? Because I may not have done my job.
Yeah.
Now you're inviting them into a consultative conversation, right?
Yeah.
You eliminate that one, and we could move to the next one. Sometimes I've discovered that some people, they just don't really care if they put coverage in place or not. And that makes me sad.
Yeah.
Because they took the time to get information, but they just want to keep putting it off. So do they really want to put something in place for their family? And I find that some people don't.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think that's you because, man, what you shared with me about why, now I'm elevating, right? And raising the stakes about why this is important for your daughter. I don't think that's you, is it?
And this is the beauty of a principled sales process, like our presentation, the script, all those things. We are speaking as if those things we haven't really walked the client through those, because I feel like our process does those pieces.
Correct.
like the options. The options allows us to turn the dial a little more and lock down some of those agreements along the way so that you're not having to have a more direct confrontational conversation. I don't feel like that's confrontational, but our system allows you to do that without landing there, because we have agreement that these are the things they said. This was important to them, that they are okay moving forward to fill out an application and see if they can qualify. We have all those pieces in place.
I think, Chris, too, the last part of this is not just raising the stakes so that they sense the urgency, but with life insurance sales, we also have to have simplicity and clarity at the close. Oftentimes, agents will kind of make it confusing and kind of come to the end where they're now supposed to walk someone through the application and move forward, and then they get stage fright. And they're right there at the end, and now they're afraid to ask for the close, or they hesitate moving people into a position where they're applying for the coverage because this is unfamiliar territory, and they start getting weird. You see agents moving, and then when they get here, they start waffling, and they don't really have confidence about how to close properly. And so it becomes a little bit of a complexity, and we break trust. And sometimes just not making it simple at the end for them to say yes to the thing that they said they wanted creates barriers. And so instead of your client wanting to move through the barriers with you, they say, I want to think about it. Because they don't see an easy off-ramp.
Right.
So what you may see as lack of urgency, you actually just created your own roadblocks by not making it simple for them to say yes.
Yeah, there's two pieces to it. There's the complexity and also the loss of emotional urgency that was created.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the fire went out, and now we're just dealing with practicalities along the way.
It becomes transactional,
Yes.
and it becomes all functional, and it's no longer tied to what. So
Yeah.
so also here under the urgency piece, this number 4, no urgency, of the real reasons why people don't buy. I think you have to identify, address, and raise the stakes, and then you have to give them a clear and simple off ramp so it's easy for them to say yes and move forward. Clarity in life insurance sales is one of the biggest needs that will always exist. If you can create clarity, people will move forward with you.
Yeah.
What's the last one?
The last one is no money. And honestly, it's almost like you should start with this one. This is the one that's said the most. It's the one that's the biggest smoke screen.
Is it the biggest real objection?
No,
Or is it the least real?
It's the least. And
It's the least.
That's funny because it's here, and the
New agents think it's the biggest, though.
and it's usually on the front.
Yeah.
Like that's where you're getting, I can't afford it right now anyway. Things are tight. I'm going to wait. Like, it's so funny. I can't tell you how many conversations when I had somebody tell me they couldn't afford it. We haven't unpacked that, what that means. And we get through the entire process, and I write an application for $100 to $120 a month. And they said they couldn't afford it, but they thought it was going to be $250 or $300 because of things they've seen or the way it was positioned to them before. They haven't worked with me. They haven't worked with you. They haven't worked with you. So that's an important piece, that understand that 99.9% of the time, that is not a real issue.
Yeah. I always say, instead of focusing on a price for a premium, you got to tie their monthly payment or their investment to their priority or their passion.
Right.
And if you can tie, and if you're talking about the things that they've prioritized, that they've verbalized and said were important, and you tie their investment to that rather than talking about a price for a premium for a policy,
Right.
because that's where we get stuck oftentimes.
Yeah.
It becomes transactional and flat.
Correct.
And now they're seeing it as this thing they can say yes or no to. That's why we say, in the end, okay, so if you set aside $85 a month, this will create this benefit for your wife, Katrina. If you do $110 a month, it will be this size benefit for Katrina and your kids. $160 a month will be this amount of benefit for Katrina and your kids. And so you're setting aside money for who? Right? You're now tying their investment to their passion, their family.
Correct.
As opposed to talking about price for a premium for a policy.
Yeah.
Right? It's different. So the money issue is very rarely the money issue.
And there's really two spaces it comes up on the front side because of preconceived notions or just trying to get somebody off the phone or off your porch, one or the other. The other is when they're face to face with dollars and investments. It's disconnected from the purpose or the passion, like you said. The other thing that I think is helpful to understand is there's a human piece to this, and understanding that sometimes the elevation of the need can be overwhelming and they can't afford that full amount. And there has to be an acknowledgement of the humanity of this in the conversation sometimes, of saying, hey, I'm a dad and I do the best I can with what I have. And my kids understand that. I would love to give them this and this and this. And I'm not in a position to do that. Maybe that's how you feel too. And I don't want you to feel like you have to have a $20,000 benefit because you feel like that's the only way they're going to know you love them. It doesn't have to be that.
No.
I understand you're doing the best you can with what you have. They'll understand that as well. So we probably need to look at this budget more than this one.
Where do I give you my social security number, Chris?
Right.
Can I give you my bank account number now?
Yeah. It's just
Like,
acknowledging who they are and what they're trying to accomplish. And you're a good mom. You're a good dad.
Yeah. And also giving them the respect to have the conversation about affordability is important. So when we talked about the isolate and eliminate, because oftentimes they won't say I can't afford it. They'll say things like, I want to think about it. We got to talk it over. We don't make decisions right away. We don't make decisions on the first one. I'm shopping around. And if you drill that down, if you reduce that down, like that nice white wine reducing down to create this delicious meal. If you reduce all those things down, you're going to find underneath that it's an affordability issue or it's a money issue of some sort. And by doing this identify, isolate, and eliminate strategy, Mr. Ball, most people, a lot of my clients have felt the same way. I completely understand. And usually it's for one of two or three reasons, right? And so now we're going into, sometimes they just don't understand the product or something about the process. And I haven't been clear. Do you need clarity on anything that I've discussed? Great. Okay, we're good on that. Sometimes it's that people just don't really care. They don't really want to do it. And it's not really that important to them. They want it to be, but they don't take action. And I don't think that's you. I think putting something in place is important to you, right? Well, if it's not one of those two, it really only comes down to one other one. And most often it's just that they're uncomfortable with what they can set aside each month. And they don't know how to have the conversation with me. And I'm here for them. I can tell those people, like, you get to decide on how much you put in the plan.
Yeah.
I don't get to dictate that. Is that more of what you're feeling? And so what you're doing is you're creating a safe space for them to say yes. Without them saying, what do you mean you can't afford it?
Yes.
Right?
What do you mean? Yeah.
What do you mean? I see a big screen TV up there and you got 3 streaming services. You got HBO? I don't even have HBO. You can at least set aside some money for Wanda. Right. It's a different conversation. You got to create vulnerability for them to speak about it with respect and dignity. And allow them to have their dignity. And then have the conversation that Chris said. I'm a dad. I get it. I can't do everything I want, but my kids certainly understand. Like, that's a real conversation, ladies and gentlemen. So hope that helps. No need. What is it? No trust, no need, no want, no urgency, and no money. So, question for you. If you look back at your last presentation, which one of these do you think is happening with you, and how did you address it? Or which one are you going to do some prep work on now, identify these things, and write down some notes to self of how I'm going to move past these things and make sure I address these real issues and not get smokescreened by the I want to think about it.
The reason you didn't get the sale is one of these 5.
That's it.
That's it. There's no secret one. They just didn't like me. Okay, well, that's probably on the trust continuum.
Yeah.
Right.
Your clients don't want to be sold. They do want to protect their families. That's why they requested some information. They thought it would be a good idea. There's something tugging. There was an emotional connection to something when they submitted a request if you're working leads. And people generally care about their family and about their loved ones and putting protection in place. So they don't want to be sold, but they do want to buy. It's your job to remove the barriers, know what they are, to remove them so you can have that transparent conversation and have the stakes conversation so they can take ownership of their need. Once they take ownership of their need, their urgency goes up. They find a pathway to move forward and find the money to set aside for the people they love the most and the thing they want the most. It's your job not to sell them. Your job is to help them discover their need and then find a solution that fits their budget to solve their problem. That's it. Good episode. Simple,
was
clean.
fun.
Did you like this
good.
one? Drop some comments down there. Which one resonated with you the most? And share the podcast, for goodness sake. Share it with somebody who needs to hear it. It is Thanksgiving. That's your first call out. Now you put a timestamp on this for Adam.
I'm so
and there
sorry.
it is. It's in there. But it's coming into Thanksgiving week.
We are thankful 2027.
For you. This is coming out.
Help?
I'm not sure when this one's issuing. It might not even be issuing this week.
That's right.
But it is Thanksgiving season, and we're thankful for you. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you on the next episode of the Life Insurance Academy podcast.